Well, hello everybody, it's gonna do a little video tonight. My son bought a new gun we're pretty excited about. It's the FN Tactical. So he bought this gun used. I just checked it to make sure it's clear, that's why the hammer's back, but of course the magazine's out. But he bought this gun used, and I think it was truly, I'm not sure it had ever been shot. The gun appeared to be new. So, you know, we buy a lot of used guns around here. The beauty of that is sometimes you can find some deals on them. So this is the FNX Tactical threaded barrel, the suppressor height sights on it, and it comes with this hollow sun red dot type optic sight on it, and it's also got a streamlight flashlight on it. So that it comes just like this. He got a heck of a buy on it. He got it for essentially the price of the gun, and then the accessories almost just came without any extra cost. So that is the beauty of buying used guns at times. But like I say, this gun truly, I'm not sure it had ever been shot, honestly. So this optic sight for me is a little bit weird to get used to. I'm not quite on board with it yet. Good friend of mine's in the law enforcement here locally, and all of the duty guns, they've put optic sights on them. It's a little weird for me to get used to. It's fun to shoot. The gun seems to shoot good. We've only shot it a couple of times. We're going to shoot on paper today, but yeah, it's a little bit weird. What's neat about this is this guy's got a little solar panel affair on it, and that keeps the battery charged essentially, and it turns on automatically with movement. So as it's sitting in the gun cabinet, it shuts off automatically, and then as you pick it up, it turns on. So he's got it set up with a green light right now. I don't know. It's kind of the new thing. I like I say, I have very little experience with it. Anyway, we're gonna play with it and do some shooting with it. So, show you the ammo we're shooting today. You know what? I don't buy a lot of factory ammo, and then right now I don't have any factory ammo to speak of for the 45 ACP. So this load is a home cast 230 grain round nose flat point. That bullet was kind of designed, I think you guys have seen that bullet before. Basically works really good in 45 ACP or 45 Colt. So we're going to shoot that one in it today. This is a 200 grain semi-wad cutter powder coated bullet. These bullets actually come from Badman Bullets. Had great luck with these. These are great bullets. Of course, we're using tight group powder in both of them. I'm sure the point of impacts will be slightly different on them, but I've had great luck with these. Something interesting about this gun though, when we first got it, it would not cycle these semi-wad cutters. It would jam probably every third or fourth shot. We started shooting, I mean, we've probably we've put 200 rounds through it at the most. Almost all of it with this round nose flat point bullet, and then the last time we shot like 3 magfuls of this semi-wide cutter. Functioned just fine. So that tells me that the gun was probably just a little bit tight, and I wonder, it's got, you know, a little bit of extra on there with this, the weight of the sight. It makes me wonder how the cycling is on it. It seems to be working good right now. So anyway, we're pretty tickled with that. Another thing that I find interesting about this, I'm a double stack 45 guy. You guys know that. Seen my SIG videos and a couple of SIG videos actually with those. This guy holds 15 rounds in the mag. How they stuff 15 rounds in there, I don't know. Of course, the mag's a little bigger. The gun itself is a little big. I've got exceptionally large hands, so you know, it's a lot of my other videos. I like the bigger grip. The gun fits me pretty dang good. What's interesting about it, as much as I love this FN, and you guys heard me talk a lot about my SIGs too. So I got that SIG 227. It's also a double stack 45. It only holds 10. But the feel of that SIG compared to this FN, I'm not sure what's the right way to describe it. The SIG is almost more refined. It just sits in the hand a little nicer. This guy almost has a little bit of a brick feel to it, to me. A good friend of mine was over here shooting the other day, and he says, man, it kind of feels like a 2x4. Just a little coarse, I guess. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. I truly like this gun. And yeah, it's a little blocky feeling. I'm not sure what it is. It feels good in the hand. Not quite as refined as the SIG. This guy holds 5 more rounds in the mag. This guy's got a great trigger on it, probably equal to the SIG. So I don't know. Which one do I prefer? I don't know. I love the SIGs, you guys know that. But I really like this FN too. So anyway, we'll do some shooting with it on paper, see how it performs. So all right guys, the first set of rounds, or the first 3 shots we're going to shoot here is with the 230 grain round nose flat points. All right, that gives us 3 shots with the 230 grain round nose. The next 3 shots will be with the 200 grain semi-wad cutter. Gun's clear, it's locked back. We'll walk up and have a look. All right guys, looks like the gun's grouping just fine. I'll flip the camera around and show you what we got. All right guys, the first group we shot was this 230 grain round nose. Throw the tape on there. Looks like that's about a 2-inch group. Maybe slightly over, but pretty dang close to 2-inch group. Second 3 shots was the 200 grain semi-wad cutter. Shoot, I think we can almost call that about 1.5 inch group. Maybe slightly over 1.5 inches. All right guys, we're gonna mark these with the Sharpie here. All right, well, we'll shoot one more set of 3-shot groups on each one of those targets, see where they're at. The gun's printing a little bit to the left. I'll talk to my son about it, but I'm not gonna monkey with that tonight. But for me, if that was my gun, I'd want to get that zero just a little bit closer than what it is. But I think we could, the gun's shooting just fine. You know, I mentioned earlier in the video that I think that gun maybe has 200 rounds through it at the most. Not hardly any jacketed bullets, maybe not any jacketed since we've had it. So, you know, I know that they say it takes about 500 rounds for these guns to kind of break in, but shoot, I'd be plumb tickled with the groups it's printing right now. Those 200 grain semi-wad cutters, I've had great luck with those. We're gonna shoot another set of groups, but we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me a bit if those didn't print just a little bit more accurate than the round nose. So we'll take another shot. All right guys, we're gonna shoot 3 more. The first 3 we're gonna shoot is 200 grain round nose flat point. All right, so we got a little bit of a jam. So those 3 shots was the round nose flat points. These next 3 are the semi-wad cutters. So I just cycled that again with those semi-wad cutters and it went right in, and that's what we've had it do a couple of times. So it'll be interesting to see when we get some more rounds through it. When we first bought the gun, it jammed a few times just like that with the semi-wad cutters. Then we've shot probably, I don't know, 40, 50 rounds through it after we had a couple of 100 rounds and it hadn't jammed. So that's the first time it's jammed in a minute. I think it'll loosen up and do just fine. So anyway, we're gonna shoot 3 more shots with the semi-wad cutter. All right, the gun's open. We'll walk up and take a look. All right, guys, well, you seen that little malfunction on it. When we first bought the gun, the first time we come out to shoot, that's what we shot was those semi-wad cutters, and we had several of those. Then we put 100 rounds or a couple 100 rounds with the round noses, then went back to the semi-wad cutter. So I think the gun's gonna loosen up eventually, be just fine. So anyway, the groups look pretty good. I'll flip the camera around and show you. So all right, this group on the left is the round nose flat point 230 grainers. So we got 6 shots under 2 inches. You can see the 1, 2, 3. So that group shot was really good. Shoot, I didn't realize how good that was. So those last 3, hope you guys can see that good. Those last 3 was under 1 inch. I'm gonna call that more like a 3/4 inch group. Wow, yeah, that shot those 3 really good. That was a very nice group. Overall, we got 6 shots under 2 inches. I don't know if we can complain about that. So the semi-wide cutters over here, on the other hand, they opened up a little bit. I got 1, 2, 3. So all 6 shots still is about 2.5 inches. So that was interesting. You know, that last 3 shots with the 230 grains shot well under 1 inch, with all 6 of them going under 2 inches. The semi-wide cutters, all 6 of them went about 2.5 inches. Shoot, I don't think I can complain about that. That sight is a little bit weird for me. So to say that maybe some of what you'd call some inaccurate shooting there's probably more my fault than the gun. So I'm tickled pink with that gun. Of course, I've told you it belongs to my son. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one of those in my future pretty soon. I'm not totally sold on the optic sight yet. I'm not sure. Leave some comments if you guys have some experience with that. I know that those optics are kind of becoming the new thing on a lot of the handguns. A lot of guns are coming optics ready. I think it's how they advertise them. Probably the way to go in a defensive situation. What's neat about it, if that optic malfunctions in some way, the standard sights line right up with it. So if you are in some type of a defensive situation and that fails, you can go right back to the standard sights and they shoot just fine. So that is a pretty neat gun. The trigger is pretty nice on it. Can't complain about that at all. It's probably right there with that SIG 227. And of course, with the double action guns, you have a little bit of take up on it. So the gun's clear. I'm gonna just clear the mag. We're gonna play with it here just a little bit. So that trigger has that little bit of a take up. Every double action semi-auto I've ever monkeyed with has a little bit of that. But once it gets there, there's a little bit of travel, but not much. It's pretty dang nice for a stock trigger. Don't think a guy could go wrong with that. And maybe there's aftermarket stuff. We haven't, like I say, we've only owned, my son bought this gun just a few weeks ago. We haven't had it very long. Haven't looked into any aftermarket stuff with it, but as good as it's shooting, I'm not sure it's worth messing around with. You know, we got a 50-yard gong here we monkey around with, and we can hit it with that. So sun's just going down. I kind of waited a little bit longer just because the wind was blowing earlier today, but we'll focus the trigger down, or excuse me, on the camera, see if we can hit that 50-yarder. All right, guys, well, I'm going to shoot the semi-wad cutters today just because I have more of them. We're going to see if I have any more malfunctions with them. I'm kind of curious on that. I feel like the gun probably just needs to be loosened up a little bit. So anyway, we'll have some fun with it. Shoot some of the steel downrange. See if I can hit that 50-yarder. Hey, hit right off the bat. Better quit, huh? So we had another one of those jams. Huh, there's another one. Well, I only loaded about a few rounds in there, so we had 2 jams out of about 10 rounds. I don't know if the gun needs to be cleaned, just needs more, or if it's just not the right fit for this gun. Certainly shoots them accurately enough, but you know, with a defensive gun like this, we'll play with those semi-wad cutters, but we'll either end up just sticking solely with that round nose flat point. We've never had a malfunction with that. And or maybe going to some jacket. We've been looking at some Zero brand jacket hollow points. They're out of stock right now, but we may play with them a little bit later. But you know, if a guy's considering buying these, if the gun fits you well, and like I say, the grip is big. There's 15 rounds of 45 ICP. I mean, physically there's got to be some bulk there to make that happen. So real tickled with these guns, or this gun, excuse me. I'm pretty sure I'll have one in my future pretty quick, but we love 45 ACP around here. Love the double stack. This is a dandy gun, I would highly recommend it. If a guy's thinking about buying one of these, from my opinion, I would say probably should go for it. So anyway, we're gonna call it a night. It's getting dark, so please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.